Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's here in the final open competition of the season. We've got the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seed up tonight. Tonight, it's going to be the NC Snakes versus MAML Nightmare, Moob versus Festoon, Dark Elves versus Necromantic Horror. The NC Snakes to make the finals yet again. This would be the third time they've made the finals, and if can do that, won this time. They place both in the Chaos Cup and the Spike Magazine Trophy. A very, very good team, a very, very good coach, but they've got to get through a couple of teams before they even get to the before they can even get to the finals. This is team number 1. They're up against MAML Nightmare this evening. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick before I start rambling on about these two teams. All right, we've had our first quarterfinal matchup so far in this competition. It was the number 1 seed Philosopher's Song versus the number 8 seed Technobabble Inc. In an upset, they defeated Philosopher's Song and will advance to the semifinals to face off the winner of tonight's matchup between the NC Snakes and MAML Nightmare. At the bottom half of the bracket, we have the number 3 and the number 6 seeds, respectively, the Gutterballs and Odin It's Nuffle. That's El Numerino's Orc team and Clypheus's it's so hard to say. Clypheus's Norse team. And then the final quarterfinal matchup in this bracket will be the Believe Broncos versus the Discomancers, the number 2 and number 7 seeds. That is BB Nuts Nurgle team versus Ian's Necromantic Horror team. The home team for this evening will be the NC Snakes, coached by Moob. Again, they're a Dark Elf team, 12 on the roster this evening. Everybody is starting. They've got both Witch Elves, all 4 Blitzers, and a whole bunch of linemen looking pretty good in terms of number of players. They've got 1 Apothecary, 1 Cheerleader. That's a point already. 6 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. That's going to bring their TV to 1,660,000 gold. They'll be up against the Necromantic Horror of MAML Nightmare, who will also have a full roster going into this evening's matchup. 12 on the roster with both Werewolves, both Wraiths, 2 Ghoul Runners, 2 Flesh Golems, and 4 Zombos. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Both of these guys with cheerleaders on the roster. It's already 1-to-1. 6 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. That brings their TV to 1,530,000 gold. That's 130K going to this Necro team here. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, truth be told. But let's talk about how the two teams might play first. Let's talk about the home team. So the NC Snakes, this is a Dark Elf team as an Elven team. You can see they have an edge of 2+ across the board. As Dark Elves, they're not so brittle. 9+ for armor for everyone except for the 2 Witch Elves that have an 8+ each. Decent speed on this roster, right? You've got 7+ across the board. Copperhead has picked up an extra point of movement, bringing him up to 8 MA. And then the linemen have 6 MA. Not bad at all. The 2 Witch Elves, of course, have Frenzy. One is a blodger with sidestep. The other one has tackle and wrestle. Picked up an extra point of MA and lost it as well, so back down to an MA of 7. They also have Moxon number 2 here, who is a blodger with tackle. These tackle pieces are going to be really important in this matchup. This Dark Elf team is looking to remove Werewolves and then remove the Ghoul Runners. They can do that in a number of ways. They have their speed advantage, and of course they can use that to try to score early or score whenever they want, really. But they can also use their speed advantage to pull some of these Necro players away. Let's take a look at that roster real quick before we start talking about how they might do that. MAML Nightmare here, as we mentioned, the 2 Werewolves, 2 Ghoul Runners. These are the key pieces on this roster. These are the ball carriers. The Wraiths have no hands. They can't carry the ball. The Flesh Golems and the Zombies can carry the ball, but they only have an MA of 4, so they probably will not be carrying the ball, especially with an edge of 4+ as well. So you're really looking to focus down on the Werewolves and the Ghoul Runners. This Dark Elf team can do that by leveraging their speed. If they're on offense, they can pull players off to one side where the Flesh Golems and the Zombies might not be able to catch up, and then the only players that can play defense are the 2 Wraiths for sure, but those Werewolves and Ghoul Runners. So that's a way to pull the Werewolves and the Ghoul Runners aside to try to get a hit on those players, to try to get them off the pitch. They do have Frenzy as well, which means the sidelines are dangerous, and MAML Nightmare has Frenzy as well, which is a little tricky, right? Because the Frenzy players here are the Werewolves for MAML Nightmare, whereas for the NC Snakes, the Frenzy players are the Witch Elves, right? So one of the Witch Elves, okay, sure, has Frenzy. That's great. Black Mamba, however, has Frenzy and Sidestep. So if Black Mamba goes in for a Frenzy Surf, covers the sideline, she has Sidestep, which means she's not likely to get Surf back. In order to get Surf back, you're going to have to cover all the available spaces on the pitch before you go for the block in order to remove the Witch Elf. So the Witch Elf, Black Mamba number 2, has a little bit of advantage when covering the sidelines here, where the werewolves don't. The other disadvantage that the werewolves have if they're going to cover the sidelines and sort of shrink the width of the pitch by using Frenzy is the fact that their edge is 3+, save for Dragon Redclaw that has an edge of 2+, but both of those Witch Elves have an edge of 2+, so they can dodge pretty easily, where, say, Craven Bladeclaw cannot. Mammal Nightmare, on the other hand, they've got 2 tackle pieces, 2 Mighty Blow pieces. They really need to leverage that, right? Tackle is huge to go up against these players that have the dodge skill to turn that skill off, and Mighty Blow is going to turn players with an AV of 9 into an AV of 8. It's going to turn the Witch Elves from an AV of 8 to an AV of 7. This is how Mammal Nightmare is going to win tonight. It's going to come down to the werewolves and the wraiths, while also keeping the werewolves and the ghoul runners at least on the pitch so that they can move this ball around. If they can do that, they come out ahead tonight. If the Dark Elf team can really focus in on these werewolves or these ghoul runners, either by pulling them off the drive or by using their speed to get around the necro linemen, the slow zombies, those slow flesh golems, and target and really hone in on the werewolves and the ghoul runners, they're going to come out ahead tonight. Mammal Nightmare is going to get a little bit of money in petty cash. They're getting 130K. I think the only star player they can get is Bryce Campbell, Bryce the Slice Campbell. I don't know. It is a chainsaw, I guess. I don't know. 130K. I would generally say I don't really like him, but the problem is, for 130K, what else are you getting, right? You could get a bribe, I guess. You could get blood for the blood god. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure where Mammal Nightmare is going to go with that 130K. If they want to pick up Bryce the Slice, they can. Bryce the Slice has a decent once per game. The problem is he's not going to have bribes to keep Bryce on the pitch, but he can use, if he gets on the pitch with Ghostly Flames, he can treat the chainsaw, instead of a 3+, as a 4+ once per half. So that's not bad. Oh, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. He'll get a reroll with it for sure. You're absolutely right. 100K. He's picking up extra team training and a coach. I think that's got to be the way it goes. You're 100% right, SB Beaver. All right, I'm gonna stop jibber jabbering here. The Mighty Blow and tackle is really what it comes down to for Mammal Nightmare tonight. They're gonna have to, with those linemen, to keep their full team in position and in the drive, they're gonna have to control center pitch. The middle of the field is gonna be very, very important for Mammal Nightmare. If they lose control of that, they're gonna have a real hard time running around trying to keep up with these Dark Elves without exposing the werewolf, without exposing those ghoul runners. But if they can hold center pitch, they can keep those players in the drive, they can keep the linemen in play, they can get some protection and some tackle zones between the opposing player and those 4 really key pieces for Mammal Nightmare. Very, very important. The center pitch is going to be for this matchup tonight. Clear skies for the game, it looks to be. Who needs rerolls? These colors. We gotta go red versus blue. It's the Christmas Bowl. Merry Christmas, everyone. I've got a headache and the only cure is more chainsaw. Whoa, look at the fan factor. So much money to be made by these teams here this evening. This is the quarterfinals. Neither of the teams have been eliminated from the Blood Bowl necessarily, but of course you want to increase your odds by advancing through this bracket. The Snakes are going to win the coin toss and be on offense to start. Well, we'll see if we need red versus blue. We might need it. We might need it. Electrics Man said, did anybody notice somebody has a 45 stream streak? I didn't. And you know why I didn't? Because I don't have redemption for it. But that's awesome. Thank you very much, Electrics Man. I really appreciate it. SB Beaver says, I feel the ends of the pitch would be even more important. Sure. Cups formation for the defense in the Christmas colors. We'll see if we have to go red versus blue once the elves take to the pitch. Yeah, we're gonna go red versus blue. I know it's the quarterfinals, and I want them to show off their uniforms, but we're gonna go red versus blue. Dark Elves in the blue, they're the home team. Necromantic Horror in the red, they're the away team. They're on defense to begin. 3 on the line for the defense, now 3 for the offense. Let's turn off some of these skills as well. So get this. So I'm basically snowed in. I can't drive due to the snow. So I ordered like groceries and had them delivered. And I understand the situation, and I've shoveled everything. Like, everything's safe. They can deliver it to my porch. But hey, how's it going, Ajax Orion? Welcome to the stream. But I still felt bad, so I gave them a nice tip, and I wanted a certain type of ice cream, and they're like, oh, they don't have that sort of ice cream. I'm like, oh, that's fine then, just refund it. And what this guy did, MAML Nightmare is going to earn a reroll. What did he get, by the way, in the inducement phase? Did he pick up the reroll? Yeah, he picked up the reroll. MAML Nightmare now up to 4 rerolls. They have 2 on the roster. They picked up 1 in the inducement phase, 1 from Nuffle, and now 4 rerolls. First block of the game here by the Stakes going to be a POW against the right defensive end. It's an armor break as well. Look at that. 1-man player advantage to get this game started. Taipan number 2 is going to be knocked down as well, the left defensive end. So what he did was, he was like, oh! 2-man player advantage on turn 1. Regen fails. 2 dead Zombos. A death. I haven't even drawn yet. I drew nothing. 2+ pickup works out. Copperhead, the ball carrier. This is the MA8 Blitzer. Moves the ball up to the Dark Elf 12-yard line. He's already dead. Why kill it again? So anyway, the guy's like, they don't have the ice cream you want. And I was like, that's fine, just refund it, no problem. He went to a totally different grocery store to find the ice cream and got the ice cream. How awesome is that? So I had to add to the tip. I mean, how do you not add to the tip at that point? like he went to a different grocery store. That's amazing. I was very, very appreciative. I know. Jackson Ryan said this because of the ice cream story. Is that the lore? If I draw on the screen or talk about ice cream, you die. If I start talking about ice cream, run. As far as you can. Reroll here by Dragon Redclaw. Didn't want the both standing result. Gets the knockdown due to tackle, but no armor break. Yeah, it was super duper nice. I don't want to say I feel bad about it, but I kind of feel bad. Like it was super nice. Like, I feel like I should, I don't know. I feel like I should have, like, written a like a commendation letter or something. I don't know. SB Beaver says, idea for a good tip, claim the store doesn't have something they do and then wait and deliver it. You know what? If that's what he did, good for him. If that's what he did, you know what? Well done. Well thought out. Black Wolf said I had a door dasher when I first broke my back. He did dashing with his young daughters, and they became regulars when I would bring my groceries in for me and put them on the table so I didn't have to carry it or bend over. That's awesome. That's so great. Turn 2 now for the Snakes. 2-die block with Dauntless. They're going to get a pal against Grave Grinder, but no armor break. Needs a 10 plus to break armor on these big flesh columns. Good for you. Yeah, that's so nice. Sophiana, welcome to the stream. Sophiana said, go. Either that was Go Necro or it was Goo. I was like, all right, Goo. 37 seconds here in turn 2 for the Snakes. There are no draws here in the top 8. Somebody has to win tonight. SB Beaver says the finals already moved for Steve. It can be. The way the bracket is shaken out, we can have a third run back of the NC Snakes versus the Believe Broncos. But the Snakes have got to get through 2 teams to do that. They've got to get through MAML Nightmare tonight, and if they do that, we'll have to get through Technobabble Inc. in the semifinals. Good removal here by MAML Nightmare, leveraging that Mighty Blow Wraith to get a knockout on Garter number 3. It's going to be hard for MAML Nightmare to control midfield here, losing 2 linemen, but they're doing their best. So they're holding strong and keeping the werewolves and the ghoul runners protected. Why do I not have the second circle? There we go. There's my second circle. SB Viewer says, oh, your human team has to play one of these teams. It does indeed. Electric Smith says, I didn't know MAML was scripted. Yeah, we practice our kayfabe and everything. So everybody playing has a script. Results are already planned out. I actually don't know how professional wrestling works. I assume the results are planned out. Fail the foul appearance on the blitz here. So these 2 Wraiths have a foul appearance. And if you try to block or blitz them, you roll a d6. On a 1, you are so grossed out by their appearance that you decide you don't want to touch them. And if that's your once per turn blitz, then you have lost your blitz. Turn 3 now for MAML Nightmare. Dark Elves with the ball on their own 6-yard line. 2-die block against core number 3 over in the left wide zone. 8+ breaks armor here. Doesn't get the armor break. SP Beaver says the results of a wrestling match are planned and the key moments in the match are. The rest is up to the performers to put on a good show. Oh, like they get... I see. So like, this is going to happen at some point, then this, and then this person wins, sort of thing. They don't, like, rehearse or anything? One minute to go in turn 3 for MAML Nightmare as they shift a little bit to the left. Still trying to control midfield. I am from Maryland, and for lunch today, I had... I'm sorry, not lunch. Dinner today, I had crab soup, and it was delicious. Another failed blitz on the foul appearance. Cottonmouth number 3 wants nothing to do with Clef Nightmare, and he knows. He knows this guy doesn't shower. Turn 4 now for MAML Nightmare. MAML Nightmare with a 2-die coming up on core number 3. It's going to be a push. Black Wolf says, that's my boy Fest. So damn ugly, not even his mama will blitz him. Fest is the coach. Here we go. 2-die blitz on the right side. This will be a knockdown on Coral Reef number 3. Looking for an 8+ with Mighty Blow. There it is. Just gets the stun out of it. You heard me. Boy, I gotta tell you, after I got the new bed, I used to wake up in the middle of the night a lot. And I have not woken up in the middle of the night even once. Like it doesn't feel magical or anything when I go to sleep, but man, I sleep all night. SB Beaver says every 5 years get a new one. Melatonin is in the mattress. I don't think I'm getting a new one every 5 years. Turn 5 down for the Snakes. Like the mattress feels fine. Like it's not like, oh, it's not like when you sit on it, you're like, or lay on it, you're like, oh wow, I'm definitely gonna have a great sleep tonight. But man, I've had great sleeps. Second quarter begins here for the Snakes. They've yet to cross the line of scrimmage. They've removed 2 of the Necro players. The Necro team's removed just 1 of the Dark Elves. So a 1-man player advantage for the Snakes right now. 10v9. 2-die blitz on the right side against Taipan number 2 gets a push. Snakes still biding their time. They're not getting overly aggressive. They don't want to commit to a wide zone where these werewolves with frenzy will just wreak havoc. These two teams so far this season, the NC Snakes ranked number 2 overall, with MAML Nightmare ranked number 6 overall. NC Snakes with a record of 22-6-3, with MAML Nightmare a record of 14-6-7 this season. "35 seconds to go here in turn number 5. Oh, thank you, SB Beaver. Snakes are going to shift the ball to the right here. Still have the ball on their own 6. Very fast team. They can stay around this area of the pitch until turn 7 if they want, provided they've got somewhere to go. Now they're trying to carve out the right wide zone here to give them somewhere to go next turn. But this positioning here, right? You've got this Witch Elf here. This could draw these players, or at least one of these players, over for the blitz. Telestrator of Doom is in effect, although there's already been a death. Witch Elf is dead. That's it. Life is over. I'm gonna keep all the skills on right now. I'll turn them off as players get crowded, but I tend to leave them on so that it's clear to everyone who has, including myself, who has which skills. There's the mark. Yeah, so he's drawn out the Wolves and the Ghoul Runner. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz is a push against Black Mamba into a frenzy follow-up. 2-die frenzy follow-up. Black Mamba is a sidestepper. Probably will sidestep downfield. No, she's going to sidestep backwards. And now 2-die into a both standing result unless a reroll is spent. And there it is. So that Witch Elf did indeed draw out the Werewolves and the Ghoul Runner. SP Beaver says you need an overlay at the bottom that says what the symbols for the skills means. I would need to build something, but yeah, that would be cool. Because there's too many for me to put on like the stream deck. Well, are there too many? Let's see. I could put on a single page. I could put 32. I don't know. Maybe I could do it. Turn 6 now for snakes. Two-die Dauntless Blitz against Grave Grinders, a POW. Flesh Golems have stand for... Oh, an armor break on the Flesh Golem will be a stun. We'll see if he can capitalize on this. He might be able to cut off the Wolves and the Ghoul Runner here. He's going to move forward with the Blitzer, and it looks like he is going to cross the line of scrimmage. And this ball, it looks like it's going to end up on the opposing 8-yard line. Here we go. There it is. The ball advances to the opposing 8-yard line after stunning the Flesh Golem. Is he going to try to lock down Stitch Fist? I don't know if he wants to lock it down with these linemen. $36 seconds left on the clock for the Snakes. They also need to consider what's going to happen with Black Mamba number 2. She could conceivably stay where she is. She is a sidestepper. Easy dodge by Moccasin number 2 to cover the front left corner of the cage. And now, having positioned behind the defensive line at center field, the Snakes have wide open green grass in front of them. It's going to be tough for MAML Nightmare to reposition to cover the entire width of the pitch. They may just have to go in on this cage and pray to Nuffle, but we'll see what Festoon has up their sleeve here shortly. 2+ dodge to reposition the Witch Elf to keep a mark on Vrex the Devourer, but not the potential multiple blocks coming from the werewolves, or the werewolf, and then maybe even a blitzer. Didn't mark the Flesh Golem. The Flesh Golem will use that opportunity to mark the cage over on the left side. I've gotten so much work done in the last 2 days. It's great, but it's almost weird. SP Beaver says Wolves are string 3, right? Yes, that is correct. $50 seconds to go here for MAML Nightmare. I restarted Final Fantasy 16 because I never finished it, and got past the part where I ended. I'm digging it. It's a great game. It's not an RPG. It's an action game. it's it's squarely an action game, but it's fun. Replayed the earlier Final Fantasies. Is it a couple years ago at this point? Two-Die Blitz. Two-Die Blitz against Moxon number 2. This will be a push on the Blitz. Still some movement by the Blitzer. The Blitzer is going to walk away here, not give up a block to the Dark Elves. But I replayed Final Fantasies 1 through 10-2. So I did the pixel remasters of 1 through 6, and then I replayed on the PlayStation versions of 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10-2, and had an absolute blast. Now I got to go to 12. 12 is not one of my favorite Final Fantasies, but I don't think I gave it a fair shake the first time. Fun fact, when Final Fantasy 12 came out, when I bought it, I got banned from the mall I bought it at. It was a midnight release at a store called Electronics Boutique, and like the store wouldn't open until midnight, but you were in the mall before midnight, and so I was lying down on a bench, like outside the store, and one of the mall cops, like not an actual cop, but like the mall security guard, was like, "Sit up straight." And I was like, "No." He's like, "If you don't sit up straight, you're out of here." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna get my game." So he didn't like that, and he called the police, and the police arrived, and I was like, "Can I just? It's like 5 minutes before midnight. Can I just get my game and then I'll go?" And so the police like talked to Electronics Boutique, like, "Can you just sell him his game?" So they sold me his game, and I left. And then I went back to the mall the very next day, and I was like, "Yeah, I got banned from your mall. Like, they trespassed me." And they're like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You're fine. You can come back. Sorry about that." I was like, "Okay, great." Yeah, he called the cops. And like, it's their mall. Like, if he wants to trespass me, what am I gonna do? Like, I just gotta leave. But I was like, "Can I just buy my game first?" So I bought my game. Technically, I got it before the midnight release. Yeah, tough to oh, failed rush. Tough to cover all that ground when they after the flesh golem grave grinder got stunned. And now the ball on the opposing 20-yard line. Sophiana says, "Sounds like a mall cop on a power trip." Yeah, I mean, he was just being a jerk. Like, that's all. Really, what I should have done is I should have just sat up, but he just said it like such a dick. Turn 7 out for MAML Nightmare. Sit up straight. No, I'm good, man. I'm all right. Oh, there's a part I'm missing. I said I'm good, and then he was like, "If you don't," blah, 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 blah. So I pulled out my phone. I just started recording him, like not like in his face, like, "I'm recording this and putting this on YouTube" or anything. I just started because I thought it was funny and I wanted to show my friends. So I just started recording him, and he's like, "You can't record here. Turn that off immediately." And I was like, "No." Dude, I blitz against Black Mamba number 2. Gets a push on the first block. We'll get a knockdown thanks to tackle here. Looking for an 8+. Good on Festoon here. Targeting the Witch Elf. Might be giving up the touchdown at this point. It's going to end up fouling the Witch Elf here. 3 assists on this inevitable foul. Puts us at a 5+ to break armor. Who would he foul with? Are you going to post that clip? I don't know if I still have it. But if I do, after this game, I will look in my my video collection. And if I do, I'll put it in the Discord. I might still have it. And now the Snakes on turn 8. They're going to go for the blitz before scoring. And that's going to work out. They get a Kaz out of it. Very well done. Regen will kick in for MAML Nightmare. But that's 2 SPP for the Dark Elves. They're going to get on the board 1-0. Well done. Yeah, let's go. Spire demands death. Welcome to the stream, Spire. Oh, it's the best cheerleaders. SB Beaver says, I'm way too afraid to make that play before scoring. Me too. Oh, I love these cheerleaders so much. Yeah, I get skittish. I get super skittish. NC Stakes will be at a full 11 to start this next drive. MAML Nightmare will be down a single player. One-man player advantage for the Dark Elf team as they set up their defense for a single drive unless there's a timeout. Spire says I might have done an Edge 2 Wolf Cage dive. Yeah, Edge 2. Once you get into the Edge 2 range, then that's when cage diving, I think, becomes viable. SB Mirror says, I sometimes wonder if the devs spend all their time on those cheerleaders and not the connection software. To be fair, the animations are going to be the animators. Not the same people doing both types of work. Sophiana says, what about an Edge 3 BT rep? What is BT? All I can think of is Bluetooth. BT. Edge 3 BT. Break tackle, of course. Not Bluetooth. Although, a Bluetooth rat ogre would be pretty awesome. Battletoad. What was it? Rash, Pimple, and Zits? Oh man, I want to play Battletoads again. That game sucks. The NES Battletoads is unfairly difficult. They're on the line for the defense in a box. Let's call that a rectangle formation, a 3-4-4. 3 on the line here for MAML Nightmare. Battletoads is fun. It's a very legitimately fun game. It is impossible. Battletoads versus Double Dragon. Still hard, but much better. And then there's like Battletoads Arcade. Speaking of, I gotta say, even to this day, so on the Xbox One, there was a release called Rare Replay. It's like 40 Rare the second party, the software house. 40 Rare games all through their history, and they've got the Battletoads games on there. That is such a great collection. Like, every game's amazing. They've got games from like the early Amstrad computers in like the UK. They've got games for the NES, Super NES, N64, arcade games. they've got Xbox and Xbox 360 games. It's such a great collection. It is still one of my favorite collections ever. It's so good. Later, when they added GoldenEye to the Xbox, they added it under the Rare Replay label. HX Orion says, as a kid, I thought it was bad, but I kept getting better at it. Little did I know it was a ridiculously hard game. Yeah, it is stupid. So Battletoads, there's levels 1 and 2, and then you have the like the motorbike level, and then rumor has it there's levels 4 through 11, and then you have the final level. Because nobody gets past that speeder bike level. It's impossible. And then after that, every single level after that, impossible until you get to the last level. Changing weather is not going to work out here for Mammal Nightmare. They've set up for a one-turn opportunity. So they got Dragon Redclaw with the MA8. So they'd need 3 pushes out of this. Noob Tech, welcome to the stream. Noob Tech says I got past it once. Yeah, it's so hard. Black Wolf says it's so funny. We were talking about that on my feed just today as Battletoads vid popped up talking about its difficulty. Yeah, it's really, really hard. Picture Man says, is it like Frogger? No, it's not. SB Weaver says just save state. Yeah, if you're going to emulate it, do that for sure. Noob Tech says, I think I died quickly after I never had the motivation to try again. It's unreasonably hard. Did I block here against Tiger? Does he have a 1-turn? Noob Tech says, I think of it fondly like that one level in the first TMNT game with the impossible short jump. Man, that jump. So, first of all, the TMNT Cowabunga collection by Digital Eclipse, fantastic collection. It has rewind. It's awesome. That first game is a lot better than I remember it as a kid. But, man, that short jump as a kid, I remember that. It was impossible. It was so hard. So no 1-turn here as Mammal Nightmare dips into the bonus spark. They're going to try to get some casualties out of this. Pick up the ball and try to pass for some SPP as well. Good pickup. Good catch by Dragon Redclaw to end the half. 1-0. The Snakes are in the lead. But now Mammal Nightmare will be on defense. Excuse me, will be on offense. And they've got some decisions to make. So unlike the regular season, you can't play to a draw. So they could try to score early, get the ball back, and try to win before overtime. Or they could play for overtime. They could try to score and then hope the coin flip goes in their favor and then try to win this in overtime. Ajax says, nice try on the 1-turn attempt. The Dark Elf team sets up in a 3-4-4. They've got 2 linebackers and 6 in the secondary, and now 5 on the line for the offense with that high agility, high speed ghoul runner Zorath Flesh Render back to receive this kickoff. No kicker for the defense. They added a Battletoad to Killer Instinct 2013, which is still one of my favorite games ever. Weather's going to remain the same. It's going to bounce the ball. And one more space is going to end up on the 20-yard line. Turn 9 underway for MAML Nightmare. Two-die block against core number 3 by Stitch Fist will be a push. And Dark Elves with that armor value of 9 rather than 8. Such a pain because they still have that high agility. Two-die block against Tiger. This may be one of the last times we see this BB 2020 rule set for these two teams, Necro and Dark Elf, as Warhammer Blood Bowl is on the horizon for Blood Bowl 3. And with it comes a brand new rule set. Two plus pickup works out. How does he get the helmet to stay on the bed sheet? SP Beaver says I have to figure out what team I want to play next in the new rule set. I gotta finish I have to read the rules cover to cover first. Like I've read like 80% of the rules, but just from this page and that page. Oh, he is scary looking. Stun on the blitz. Turn 9 now for the NC Snakes. Ajax the Right says, you know what I miss? Games like Banjo-Kazooie. New DK game looks really fun. Man, none of the other Banjo games slapped like the first. I want to like Banjo-Kazooie. I just, I don't really like collectathons. But I do appreciate Banjo-Kazooie for what it is. I think it's a brilliant game. Sophiana says the new Oleana Sinners shall become a fun thing. Two-die blitz by Rattler. We'll get a knockdown against Taipan number 2. Got an armor break. Regen failed. Boy. Oh, I was so in awe. I forgot to get the replay on that. Another failed regen. Now a 2-man player advantage for the NC Snakes. SB Beaver asked, did that golem have a pitchfork tied to his wrist? He sure does. I wouldn't say tied, though. I would say stapled. Black Wolf rooting for this Necro offense. Turn 10 now for MAML Nightmare. They're going to take a mark against Moccasin number 2 over in the left wide zone. Two-die block by Dragon. Red Claw breaks armor. I'm sorry, didn't break armor. Gets the knockdown. Good use of the werewolf. Can't get that armor break. Moves the ball forward to the 4-yard line. SB Viewer says regen's 50-50. It either fails or it doesn't work. A minute 8 on the clock here. Noob Tech asks, anyone here ever play the NES Hook game? I still find myself humming the soundtrack all these years later. No, I never played Hook. I still hum the DuckTales theme soundtrack. That was awesome. They just announced, I think it was Digital Eclipse too. They just announced their, are they redo? Oh, no. It's the Disney Afternoon collections coming to the Switch. That's what it was. Yeah, NES Aladdin, or Super NES Aladdin was great. Lion King I thought was good too. Both of those were made by Capcom. Man, Super NES days were the days of knowing every game that came out on a platform. And now it's impossible. Knockdown in the right wide zone. Simpler times indeed. I was really pleased when so there were a lot of Japanese JRPGs we didn't get on the Super NES. And I was really, really pleased that they remade. I'm going to pronounce it the wrong way, but the wrong way is the right way. I'm happy that they remade Live Alive. It's actually Live Alive, but it should be Live Alive. On modern platforms. Man, that game's magical. That game's so good. Two-die blitz over in the left wide zone here for MAML Nightmare. They're going to push. Snowboarding kids on the N64, I remember that. SP Beaver says, I played a lot of Super Double Dragon on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Super Double Dragon was great. That was Double Dragon 4. And then we don't talk about Double Dragon 5. Well, I guess I shouldn't call it Double Dragon 4 anymore, because now there's a Double Dragon 4 in the NES style. Turn 11 for the Snakes. They're going to take a mark on Gravegrinder. 2 marks here, making that a 1-die coming back by Gravegrinder. Still staying in front of this offense. Just spreading out, keeping the offense spread out. Just staying in front of the ball. This is not... neither of these teams are a passing team, so neither of these defenses really have to worry about the pass too much. Sets up for the 2-die blitz on Gravegrinder. Gets the knockdown thanks to block. And then repositions Rattler 1 space back. Dave Mirra was on GameCube and PlayStation 2, yeah. Ajax the Right says, back when games were at a finished state on release and huge games had a 3-4 discs to play. I'll meet you halfway on that. I would argue they were finished. But boy, they were not... I mean, they were not bug-free. Like, they were broken. They were broken. But yes, I will agree that games today release intentionally incomplete. They were playable. I mean, there were even things like one of my favorite RPGs was Xenogears. And that game was so late that the way they shipped it was the second disc was pretty much just one big cutscene. Like, I'm not exaggerating. There's a whole robot in a game about robots. There's a whole robot in the game that you can't play because they just didn't have time. So the whole second disc is pretty much just one big cutscene. Yeah, I love Xenogears. I love the whole Xeno series, but yeah. Yeah, that second disc was ridiculous. SP Beaver says, I love playing games pre-release. I don't. Turn 12 now. Just repositioning here, back and forth for both of these teams. That is not bad by any means. This is pretty much a repeat of what we saw in the first half, with the offense just looking to open up a hole and the defense just trying to stay in front. Yeah, well said, Noob Tech. Yeah, with Xenogears, they did shoot for the moon, and they did miss, but they did so gracefully. It is, if you take Xenogears at face value, it's fantastic. Yeah, but yes, it was very ambitious, and they clearly did not finish. Speaking of Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo version of Street Fighter Alpha 2 is like a marvel of engineering. Like, I do not understand how they got that game on the Super NES. They did a fantastic job. I really want to own a copy of that. NC Snakes keeping that Flesh Golem over in the light right zone, the right wide zone at bay, not allowing that Flesh Golem to be used as an anchor on the formation. And now Powell against Clath Nightmare and Cottonmouth number 3 on the block. Noobtech says back from ads, what game? Oh, Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Super NES. I thought was an engineering marvel. Back when triangles were hot. Fourth quarter begins here as the chess match continues at center field. 2-die block against core number 3. NC Snakes in the lead 1-0. Both teams hanging on to 3 rerolls. SP Beaver says, as an engineer, I wonder how they did that with any of the games on the older systems. I have JavaScript libraries larger than some of these games. That is very true. That is very, very true. I don't I don't know how to say it in a nice way, so I just won't say it. But I will say, I think as memory became cheaper, it allowed developers to use tools that made their lives easier by assuming users have infinite memory, if you know what I mean. But like, if you really want, like, I was gonna say fun for me, I guess. I don't know if it's fun for everyone, but if you really want to spend like a fun month, disassemble or find the source or something. But I would say disassemble an Atari VCS game, an Atari 2600 game, and just see what you can do with 4K. Like, they were wizards, absolute wizards. Turn 13 for the Snakes as the ball still has yet to cross the line of scrimmage. Has this offense still trying to poke a hole in this defense that's staying on their feet. No, thank you. Oh, you know what's even better than that? There are plenty of like YouTube channels. There's plenty of YouTube channels out there that like go into details about like old video games and like the coding and the engineering behind it. Check one of those out. I mean, it's, man, wizardry, absolute wizardry. Ajax Rise says my personal Vue component library is probably bigger than those games. Vue is supposed to be lightweight. Yeah. 2-die against Grave Grinder's not going to get the knockdown this time, and Grave Grinder finally going to stay on his feet. Two-die against Corpse Grip Stumblefoot. This will be a knockdown. And an armor break. Gets a stun out of this. And now you can see the Dark Elf slowly creeping in here, cutting off half the pitch. And what this does for a defense is if you've only got to cover this amount, it means you don't have to cover this amount. So whatever players you're going to put over here to cover this, they can double up, right? They can be behind the line here. They can apply pressure on the side and start to force this this offense into a bit of a scrum or a predicament. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Snakes on the bonus clock. Turn 14 for Mammal Nightmare. They have 3 turns to get into the end zone. They have plenty of speed on their roster. They can hold out until turn 15, I'd say. Going for the 1-9 blitz against Black Mamba. Frenzy blitz. They're going to get a push out of this. They need the knockdown. They got it. Got the knockdown on Black Mamba. 8+ breaks armor. No armor break. But it'll probably move the werewolf out of the way. That clears the sideline. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Electric Man says, through the years, I mostly played Madden and NHL, but I remember the early years when a new one came out thinking how great they looked, but looking back, they look terrible. Yeah, I mean, everything's in context. I have very, very fond memories of lots of games. Like, I guess you failed dodge here to try to cover the ball carrier. Turn 14 for the Snakes. Zorath Flesh Render. A Blodger. This is the ball carrier. Currently on the 10-yard line. I have such fun in a Genesis game called I just lost my train of thought. Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl is the first one anyways. So much fun. Toe Jam, Big Earl. SB Beaver says, WWF No Mercy, I thought looked as real as it did on TV. Let me assure you that was not the case. I was talking to someone today and I was like, I remember when Final Fantasy X came out, I thought graphics just couldn't get any better than that. T9 Blitz against Zorath Flesh Render. This is not gonna work out. A reroll is gonna be spent here. Actually, he could just wrestle him to the ground. That'll work out just fine. But it's not going to remove... Oh. I was going to say, it's not going to remove the Ghoul Runner, who has an edge of 2. But now Cottonmouth was there to recover the ball. The number 6 Blitzer in possession of the ball, which means that now the Mammal Nightmare is going to have to rely on a blitz here on turn 15. So that wrestle down, I don't think was too bad for a Mammal Nightmare, really. I think it was the right call by the Snakes. But there was a potential for this ball to sort of shake loose. And then that Ghoul Runner could have 2+ dodged away. All right. I got to do my part here. Let's see. Do I have to hover over him? Let's see. I'm going to hover over Cottonmouth number 3. Too late. I was going to say I'm going to hover over Cottonmouth number 3 and talk about ice cream. Turn 15 for Mammal Nightmare. They've got to pray to Nuffle at this point. Great foul here. Very, very good foul by the NC Snakes, getting rid of that threat, the werewolf. SB Beaver said regen worked. Hooray. Turn 15, Mammal Nightmare has to end this turn in scoring position. They stand up Stitch Fist. Stand-up blitz by the Ghoul Runner. Just going to get a dodge push here. I think they're not going to follow. Yeah, they're not going to follow up here. They're probably going to try to get the Ghoul Runner downfield. No. Wow! 5+ dodge by Gravegrinder works out. So that Ghoul Runner is in scoring position right now. And there's all the pressure. The uphill by Dragon Redclaw. Here's the reroll. It's got skull. Turn 15 for the Snakes. They're in possession. I would just punt it. That's what I would do. Dodge push on Zorath Fleshrender. And there's the surf. Very well done by the Snakes. And I believe that is going to do it here. Let's see. Dragon Redclaw gets 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. Can't make it. And that is going to do it. The NC Snakes will advance to the semifinals to take on Technobabble Incorporated. Congratulations to Moob. I guess there's a... Yeah, I was going to say, I guess he could leave the Witch Elf there, then maybe there's a chain push, but not going to work out here. The NC Snakes win this one 1-0. Very well played. Well played by both these coaches. Again, this is the top 8. And as we just saw earlier, these are two of the best teams this season. The number 2 and the number 6 teams here. The NC Snakes number 2, Mammal Nightmare number 6. And really a chess match all night long. You saw both these halves where both coaches were just playing it cool, didn't want to overcommit. The NC Snakes knew that they could lose players that way up against Mighty Blow and Tackle. Mammal Nightmare knew that they, if they risked their werewolves and their ghoul runners that way, they would really, their team would collapse. And so it really became a chess match of trying to poke a hole in the defense. In the first half, the NC Snakes were able to do that with a fortuitous stun against a Flesh Golem. Why the rush? But Mammal Nightmare weren't able to crack open the defense here for the Dark Elves. Turn 16. Trying to apply some pain. Remember, Mammal Nightmare is not necessarily out of this season. They are a top 8 player. That means they're a 5th. They're going to finish this competition in 5th place. That might be enough for them to qualify for the Blood Bowl. So we may see this team again before the season's up. Dodges away by the werewolf to get to safety. Turn 16 now for Mammal Nightmare. I'm sorry, for the NC Snakes. Oh, that's why he rushed. To score. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Thought he was just showing off. 2-9 blitz against Corpse Grip Stumblefoot. We'll get the knockdown here. There's the armor break. So what is this? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna have to be a pass. Five plus. The ball just flew away. Good attempt there by the Snakes. But that'll do it. They'll win this one 1-0. Congratulations to Move. Very well played by both these coaches. Again, a chess match all game long. Boy, oh boy. And with that, the NC Snakes will advance to the semifinals. That means they will finish no lower than third place in this Dungeon Bowl. Remember, the NC Snakes made it to the finals of the Chaos Cup. They made it to the finals in the Spike Magazine Trophy as well. And in both of those games, they faced off against the Believe Broncos. That could happen again here in the Dungeon Bowl. The NC Snakes are going to take on the Humans of Technobabble Inc. And if they win, they will advance to the finals. The Believe Broncos, if they get through the Discomancers and the winners of this Saturday's game between the Gutterballs and Odin and Stuffle, we could see a third run back here between the Believe Broncos and the NC Snakes. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we leave for the evening. All right, if you believe the script. Coming up next this Saturday, January 31st at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is UTC -5. We will have the Gutterballs versus Odin and Snuffle, El Nubarino versus Clypheus. That's Orcs versus Norse. I just realized. Oh, I was going to say, do we have a different faction for every team? No, there's 2 Necro teams. And then this Monday, February 2nd at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have the Believe Broncos versus the Discomancers. That will be BB Nut versus Ian. Nurgle versus Necromantic Horror. And after that, coaches will begin scheduling their final matchups here in the final open of this season. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB, here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. I love this game. This game is absolutely fantastic. Oh, look at that. You could be a Chaos Dwarf. Thank you very much for the 45th straight stream, Electric Man. I appreciate it. You can play Blood Bowl via the Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store, Black Wolf. Thank you very much. Don't kick a puppy. Until Saturday, my thanks, of course, to both Moob and Festoon. And while we'll see Moob back in the semifinals, this may be the last game of the season for Festoon, but it may not be. It's going to depend on how this bracket shakes out. These 5th place teams may be advancing to the Blood Bowl, which is the championship invitational at the end of the season. So we may see Mammal Nightmare back, but if we don't, my thanks to Festoon. Again, has had a great season. The number 6 team in terms of league points right now. I mean, that is phenomenal. So very, very well played by both coaches. My thanks for participating in the league. If this is the last game for Mammal Nightmare, then I hope we see Festoon back for season 6. But if it's not their last game, then we'll see them again in the Blood Bowl. But until Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.